My favorite food group is breakfast food. No, but seriously, people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I don't really care if you eat it at like 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 3 p.m. I think we can just all agree that breakfast food is superior. And that's why I've compiled 10 of my best breakfast recipes that all contain 30 grams of protein or more. Whether you're a sweet breakfast person or savory, there's something for everyone. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE, and today we're gonna be making 10 high protein, low calorie breakfast recipes. We've got lots of variety: breakfast burritos, baked oats, oats without protein powder, overnight oats, sandwiches, frittata, pancakes, waffles, French toast, you name it. So if you're excited to see me make these recipes, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, let's get started. So first up, we've got my favorite on this list. We're starting off strong, breakfast burritos. Now guys, I don't know why no one told me this, but I've been folding burritos wrong my entire life, or like I guess rolling them wrong rather. Basically, I realized that my breakfast burritos that I've made in the past just didn't look good as everyone else's. So I've finally learned how to roll them properly, and guys, these are the best breakfast burritos yet, I promise. So I used Beyond Meat. Obviously, you can use regular meat if that's your jam, but basically what's gonna give these breakfast burritos all the protein in the world are the eggs, obviously, cottage cheese, and the Beyond Meat. So I decided to make 4 breakfast burritos for this recipe, but of course you could just make 1 if you want. I chose to make 4 because you could actually use them as meal prep and then freeze them and put them in the air fryer later on. But yeah, honestly, they're super filling. So it's come to my attention that not everyone knows how to make scrambled eggs properly. So the key here is low and slow. You can't put the heat too high, otherwise the eggs are gonna be dry and burn and they're just not gonna be good. So the secret to making them light and fluffy is putting it on low heat and just like spinning it around like so, like pretty much constantly. And also you gotta use brown free run eggs. Those give the eggs like that bright orange color. Otherwise, I just don't like regular eggs when the eggs are like pale. How many times am I gonna say eggs? But yeah, make sure to use free run. I know they're a bit more expensive, but the color is worth it. Anyway, guys, I got a new spice rack. Check out these little shakers. They're so cute. But yeah, I added salt, garlic powder, and paprika. I love paprika, by the way. You can pretty much add whatever you want. Look at my eggs. I know a little bit stuck to the pan, but that's fine. It's literally a hex clad pan, so it should be better, but whatever. So I assembled it like this. This is the order you should do it. And by the way, I put cilantro crema. If you want to put something different, that's totally fine. Now see how I wrap the burrito. So we're gonna fold it together like that. And then we're gonna tuck, like you gotta tuck it like super, super tight. And then fold the edges in like that. And then roll it up. Yes, yes. Now, I posted the best one out of the 4. Obviously, not all 4 were wrapped as well as this one. But yeah, I was so proud of it. Look at that. We got all 4 wrapped there. So now put them in the air fryer. I put them in for like 5 minutes, and this is the perfect amount of time. I'm happy I didn't put it in longer. Otherwise, it probably would have burnt. But yeah, I like them nice and crispy. Look at that. Oh my god, I was so excited when these came out. I knew they were going to be a hit. But yeah, I've made them the past like 3 mornings. They're so, so good. And look at that inside. Wow. I'm actually going to go make these for breakfast literally after I record this voiceover, so I'm really excited. Cilantro crema is such a good touch. But yeah, if you want to add like queso or like sriracha, honestly, you could add pretty much like any sauce you want. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Again, it's my favorite one out of these 10. So next up, we've got these decadent chocolate baked oats, but they're not the typical baked oats I usually make. This is, maybe I should call it like an oat bake, because the difference between baked oats and oat bake, baked oats, I put them in like a skillet, whereas this comes in like a loaf pan and it comes in like 6 different pieces. So yeah, basically just gonna combine everything in one bowl. Honestly, this is super easy to make. Now, I know some of you don't like banana. You could sub for like pure pumpkin if you want. Look at this batter. Honestly, when I saw this batter, I knew it was going to be a hit. It's a little bit tough to mix at once, but there we go. Literally so good. I was eating the batter as I was going along. This goes without saying, but make sure to use like ripe bananas. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble mushing them and they're just not going to mix well in the batter. So we're going to add chocolate chunks. I added dark chocolate chunks. You can add pretty much any chocolate that you want. It's like twinkling in the light. And make sure to spray with cooking spray because you don't want it to stick to the loaf pan. The loaf pan that I used was 9 by 5.5 inches. I know it's like really specific, but yeah, that's the loaf pan that I use. So try to use something similar to that. And then make sure to make the batter even. So I baked this for about, I'm going to put it on the screen. I think it was like 30 or 35 minutes. Make sure to just check throughout and make sure to just stick a fork in it. And if it comes out clean, then you're good to go. So I cut this into 6 pieces. You could probably do like 8 if you want, or 4 if you're super hungry. But yeah, this turned out so well. You honestly don't even really have to let it cool that much. Like I would kind of recommend eating it hot. The chocolate chunks like glisten in the light. They look so good. This is really decadent, perfect for chocolate lovers. So I actually decided to drizzle a bit of Nutella on top. Basically what I did was I put Nutella in a little like container thing, and then I melted it in the microwave. It mixed like a little bit of water in it just to make it more viscous. Is that the word? But yeah, anyway, I did that, and look at that Nutella drizzle. Wow. This is for one of those mornings where you're just feeling something decadent and sweet. This looks delicious. So we've got another oat bake now. This one is blueberry. I feel like you're either a fruit breakfast person or a chocolate breakfast person. No, I'm kidding. I feel like you can like both. But yeah, this one is similar to the chocolate one. It is slightly higher in protein, which is great. So for both of these recipes, the chocolate one and the blueberry one, I use PE Science protein. The other one I use chocolate truffle. This one I use cake pop. So it is a whey casein blend. I haven't tested these recipes with any other protein, but if you do, let me know. If you want to purchase from PE Science, please use my discount code FIT15. So same thing here. You're going to pour it into the loaf pan and then just make sure it's even. But the difference here is that you put the first like handful of ingredients into the loaf pan, and then you're gonna add the blueberries. So I used frozen blueberries, and I actually microwaved them for about a minute before adding them here. And then I mixed non-fat Greek yogurt with a little bit of vanilla extract, just to give it a bit more vanilla flavor. And then you just kind of put it on top and then swirl it around with a knife. Honestly, I feel like I could have done a better job with this swirling thing. It looks great now. But then towards the end, I was like, oh, this doesn't really look as good. But guys, trust me, it turned out so well. Because look at that. Look at that. You just got to trust the process. So this one baked for a little bit longer than the chocolate one, I think, because it just like had a bit more liquid. But yeah, honestly, I would recommend pairing this with either some peanut butter. What I did was I took the Lakanto 0-calorie powdered sugar, mixed it with a little bit of water, and then I just poured it on there. But honestly, this is totally optional. It's really sweet on its own. But yeah, this was so gooey and delicious. Again, perfect for a sweet breakfast morning. It was so good. Next up, we got waffles. So if you don't have a waffle maker, I would go ahead and get one. Just kidding. You can make these as pancakes if you don't have a waffle maker. But I had a cute little PE Science one. So I decided to make some waffles, which I very rarely do. But yeah, this recipe has 46 grams of protein and contains no protein powder, which is great because I know a lot of you request recipes without protein powder because you don't have it, or maybe like you're younger than 18, your parents don't let you buy it. I know that my mom doesn't really like protein powder, but anyway, that's a story for another time. So make sure to spray both the top and the bottom of the waffle maker, otherwise it's gonna stick. Also, make sure to not overfill your waffle maker, because I've made that mistake and the batter is just like pouring out and it doesn't cook properly. So just make sure to put like that, maybe that amount of batter. And then yeah, also make sure not to overcook it. There's that little light on my waffle maker that comes on, but I feel like I don't really trust it sometimes. So I just kind of continuously check. But yeah, I decided to add some sugar-free maple syrup and some whipped cream. Honestly, they taste good on their own, but they taste even better with toppings. So I'd highly recommend that. And I love how there's just like this massive stack. Makes for such a good video. But yeah, these were so delicious. Okay, next up, we've got some oats without protein powder. So I made this recipe a while ago, and you will see that the cottage cheese is not blended in there, but trust me guys, that is on purpose. It's for the texture. Now, I really like this recipe. It has a very cool texture, and it's very customizable. So I made it like chocolate with Biscoff, but if that's not your jam, then you can make it differently. But yeah, make sure to follow the instructions on the screen. It's super important with egg whites and all that, making sure you mix it properly. I used to be a huge protein oats girl. Like I would have protein oats for breakfast every single morning, and I still like them, but I've actually been preferring savory recipes more. But yeah, again, this recipe is perfect for if you want to have oats, but you don't have protein powder on hand, or you just want to try something different. So again, guys, with the cottage cheese, trust the process. It's for the texture. I really like the cottage cheese in this recipe, and I really like the texture, but maybe if you're like a cottage cheese hater, then don't try this recipe. I love Biscoff. I still love Biscoff, but I used to be like a huge Biscoff girl, and I would eat it every single day. And where I live, you can't just like get it in the store, or at least I don't think you can. And I'd have to order it on Amazon. And sometimes it would be out of stock, or it'd be like super expensive. So that was annoying. But yeah, honestly, it's so worth it. Biscoff is delicious. So I just mixed with a little bit of water just so I could drizzle it on. But yeah, paired it with blueberries. You can obviously pair it with whatever fruit you want. And this looks so good and so healthy as well. So next up, we've got a breakfast sandwich. This was so good. I tried to mimic like the McDonald's breakfast sandwich, except making it vegetarian, of course. So I added some nutritional yeast just for like cheesy flavor. I would highly recommend it. One thing I will say is I made this recipe a while ago, and I'd recommend maybe not putting the heat that high on the pan, but either way, I love a good savory recipe. As I mentioned before, I've become more of like a savory breakfast person, so this breakfast sandwich is right at my alley. I love this air fryer because it's dual baskets from Sur La Table. I feel like I've told this story many times before, but like they sent it to me to do a brand deal, and then they ghosted me, but I got a free air fryer out of it, so that's good. And I never had to actually post the video because they ghosted me as I was following up for feedback. But yeah, I'd recommend using cheddar cheese. I feel like cheddar cheese is just very breakfast sandwich-esque. I think for this recipe, I was considering making the English muffins into like pancakes to make kind of like a McGriddle. So if you want, you can do that, but I just decided not to. I really like this maple breakfast sausage patty from Gardein. Yeah, but here we got all the ingredients in a pan. I'm not really sure why I did this, but this recipe looks incredible. And I kind of wish I had this in front of me. All right, we're approaching the end here, guys. Next up, we got a French toast recipe. So I have a lot of French toast recipes on my channel, but this one's white chocolate. So we're gonna use eggs and egg whites. I think it's hilarious that I had a little like cup beside there to crack the eggs. Make sure to not get any shells in. If you do, just like pick it out with your fingers. That's what I usually do. I feel like I always accidentally get shells in because I'm not very careful. But yeah, you're gonna add monkfruit sweetener and cinnamon. So make sure to do that to make the French toast sweet. I would recommend just putting in a Tupperware like this. So now we're gonna dunk the pieces of bread. Don't make them too soggy, otherwise the piece of bread might fall apart. So I'd recommend just dunking them and soaking up the mixture the best you can. And then you can always just pour the rest of the mixture onto the French toast pieces if there's leftover. So you're gonna do it for one and then just repeat it for the other. For whatever reason, this pan was the only one that I had, and it was like a small one, so I had to do both pieces at a time. I find that oftentimes if I'm filming, I'll do like one piece at a time or one pancake at a time just because I'm like, I don't want to mess it up. But honestly, just to make it shorter, I'd recommend doing both pieces at the same time. We're gonna top it with some sugar-free maple syrup. I love the Edie Smith brand, that's my favorite. And then of course some white chocolate chips. I love how in this recipe the white chocolate kind of melts a bit and it tastes so good. Check out my channel for more French toast recipes. Okay, we only have a few left. This next recipe is protein pancakes. So these ones have no protein powder as well. They have over 40 grams of protein. So these are pumpkin pancakes. I made them for like fall. Obviously, if you don't like pumpkin, you can use banana instead. But yeah, it's super easy to make. You're just gonna blend up all the ingredients. The flour might end up kind of like at the top, so I'd recommend shaking it like this and blending it. Honestly, I kind of wish I had a food processor and not this like little blender. I feel like it is a bit of a struggle. So you got to put the pan to low medium heat and spray with cooking spray. Again, don't put the heat too high, otherwise the pancakes are going to burn. So the trick to this, again, I always make it one at a time when I film because I get scared. Make sure to not overcook it on either side. You'll know it's done when there's like little bubbles popping up in the batter like this. So you're just gonna carefully flip it like that. And again, just make sure to not overdo the pancakes. You'll see it rising here. Make sure to not use your spatula to press on the pancakes. I know this sounds so stupid, but like I used to do that. And yeah, super simple. Just do that each time. I try to make the pancakes the same size so the stack looks good. And again, you'll see here it's bubbling. And we're just gonna flip it and wait for it to rise a bit. And there we go. I like how they're like an orange color, very fall-esque. So we got our stack, and again, we're gonna top it with some sugar-free maple syrup and whipped cream. This seems to be a pattern here. Comment below if you guys have other pancake toppings that you like besides these basic ones. I'm open to suggestions. So next up, we've got some overnight oats. I feel like I used to make overnight oats a lot. I haven't posted a recipe in a while, so let me know if you guys want more overnight oats recipes. So this one's chocolate. I mean, I guess the disadvantage to overnight oats is you have to wait to eat them, but they're good if you're one of those people who need something like grab and go in the morning. You can easily put these in a Tupperware and then like let it soak overnight and then take it with you to work in the morning or whatever, or if you have a busy day and you work from home. But yeah, these are chocolate flavored. I've made vanilla ones as well. Again, I used to make so many flavors of overnight oats, but these are really, really good. I like how the top, you'll see like this is a frosting that I put, and that's like my favorite part of the overnight oats. But yeah, these have really simple ingredients too. Honestly, you probably have all this stuff lying around. So make sure to not make the frosting too runny. Like maybe add less milk than you think you need and then just add a bit more as you go along, because runny frosting is not good. And make sure to mix it properly and not have any like little cocoa chunks in there. So yeah, you're gonna put the frosting on top. Make sure to spread it out. And then add some chocolate chips. Again, you can kind of add whatever you want. You could add like M&Ms if you want. I don't know why that came to mind. But yeah, the hardest part again is putting in the fridge and waiting 4+ hours or overnight. You gotta do that because the milk is gonna like soak up in the oats and make it like a good texture. Yeah, these look so good. Honestly, I feel like I kind of miss overnight oats. I haven't made them in so long. I love the texture of these. Look at that frosting. It looks so good and chocolatey, like chocolate cake, literally. So lastly, guys, we got a bagel frittata. I am personally a huge fan of bagels. I feel like when I was in my peak like ED phase, I phased as if it wasn't like 6 years. I was like scared to eat bagels because I'm like, oh, like they're so high in calories or they're just like heavy. But honestly, they fill you up and they're amazing. So this frittata, it's pretty customizable. Again, you can kind of add like whatever vegetables you want. So I added some spinach and some onions and also tore up a little veggie sausage patty. This is actually going to be an oven baked recipe. You could try making in the air fryer as well, although I haven't done that. So again, I don't have a toaster and I always just like toast things in the air fryer, which I think some people think is weird, but I just like don't want to buy another kitchen appliance if I don't need it. Yeah, this looks so good. I just put a little bit of sugar-free barbecue sauce. You could also add some like light butter or margarine as well. I like my bagels a bit more on the well done side. This looks so good. Super high in protein and great if you want like a savory breakfast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends as it really helps the channel and I post new videos every week. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.